be liking all the same. This is what the I'm in on industry games. I'm convinced that nobody is speaking my language. I'm a good ass, so listen close when I say this. After every feel stainless. I can make a fiend go. Everything I wrote gon' smoke, so dangerous. I can make an Einstein feel brainless. But look on the bright side, hope yield changes. I'ma get it started, please give me a pardon. Cause this the type of beat that get the whole crowd marching. Time to shut it down, we make the whole town Spartan. I'm from outer space, so all my homegirls Martian. It's about to get critical, this moment is pivotal. Here to feed the streets that say my influence umbilical. We gon' make it grimy, devil get behind me. Told you I'm the best, I done said it with my chest. So for real, nobody try me.
Down in the new town, I already feel that it's styles on me. I'm getting looked up down with the big crowd, they already gone by the size of me. I don't really give a fuck, put my deuce up, I will not live in apology. I wish you lose the opportunity, you suck, home made ways for a prodigy.
And I say, one for the money and two for the love. We the new era, so whoever may feel they above. Live in delusion, that's an illusion, it's absent. Keep it together, don't act like you didn't know what it was. I'm on a whole nother planet, I'm about to show you. This wouldn't work if we planned it, meaning you won't understand it. We have to rings like it's Saturn.
It's Madden NFL 24, and we'll see the Aviators, Offensive Player of the Year. He'll be a focal point of his offense this week. It's the Aviators and the Texans, coming up next.
From the stadium that hosted Super Bowl 51 back in 2017, we are inside NRG Stadium in Houston. Today, after a topsy-turvy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here, as it'll be the Aviators of Anchorage taking on the Houston Texans. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows.
So this offense will head back out there, already an excellent... interception. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 4 catches, 71 yards.
And that was a nice job there pulling that one in. Now, this is an offense that will certainly spread the ball around a bit, and this is a guy the defenses had better focus on.
Off the play fake. Rasmussen. Blitz coming, and down he goes. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. Looking to throw. Rasmussen. And oh, that nearly an opening drive INT, but it does fall incomplete. Not the way he wanted to start this ball game as it brings up 4th down. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and that'll make it 3-0 here in the first. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down. Ball on the 40 now. Here's a 2nd and 8. Back to throw. Rasmussen. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
That's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play with one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
They're going to try and throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage.
A gain of 7. 1st down, Aviators.
Looking to throw. Rasmussen. And his throw is incomplete. You can look at the defense for these Texans. They are number 2 in the NFL against the run right now, Charles.
We know it's only week 1, but the results are pretty good so far. The key is, can they do it week in and week out? Because right now, they're not awarding any championships or trophies after 1 week of performance. Got some nice young faces playing for them. Let's see if they can get this going.
These two teams all tied after 1. They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. Give him the 3rd down conversion. 5 yards on the play. From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Rasmussen. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Now a 2nd and 2. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
1st down, Aviators.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
That's a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1 yard. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A great... So back to live action. Let's see what this offense can do here on this play. They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to look deep down the field. And this is taken in at the 5. Touchdown. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Aviators are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. 1 play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's going to be wrangled down quickly after the catch up at the 45-yard line. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Off play action. Rasmussen, he's going to rifle one deep left side. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Texans are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. So, with a little over 2 minutes to play in the second quarter, the offense gets ready to take over. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Now they'll pitch it out here.
Holding offense.
Hey, baby, this ain't good enough for us.
So they cite the right guard this time with a holding penalty.
And so many different assignments you can have at that position, and sometimes you might just be a step too late and have to grab and hold on.
On second down, here's a keeper by the QB. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. The Texans here on third down putting an extra defender in the secondary. Off the play fake. Rasmussen rolling to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I've got a good friend in football, always talks about predictive history. He's got one of their 2 touchdowns. You can understand why they tried to find him again. Weren't able to connect, but the thought, that was good.
Taken right around the 44. Call that a 46-yard punt with a net of 40 on the 6-yard return. And the Texans will take. So we're in the final minute now of the first half as this offense gets ready to take over. Throwing to start the drive. Rasmussen forced out to his left. And they work this out past the 25. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. A final shot before break. Rasmussen. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Now a loose football. The ball comes out. So the football will be at the 25-yard line as this offense gets set to take over. Throwing to start the drive. Rasmussen. They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early. Well, obviously, they never want to see penalties on that defense, but this one, a little bit more significant there on the downfield pass play.
And coaches preach it all the time. You can't put yourself in that kind of position if you're the defender. You've got to stay in a spot far downfield where you can play the ball without creating extra contact.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5. Operating from the gun. Rasmussen. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. Just shy of the 20. On 1st and 10, Rasmussen. And his throw here's incomplete.
There are a good number of coaches at any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Kirby Joseph. And the Texans. It'll be a 1st and 10 coming up as this offense takes over possession of the football in the 3rd quarter. Throwing to start the drive. Rasmussen. Now he's going to throw deep right side. Oh, he had a man running free, but he overshot him, and it's incomplete. Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Rasmussen. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
Delay of game, offense.
Man, they got to let us play.
The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
Still 3rd down.
Bad time to get a delay of game penalty there. Not that there's a good time, but that makes it 3rd and 6. Back to throw. Rasmussen. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. A gain of 13 and also a first down.
13 yards. First down, Aviators.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And all the way in for the touchdown. So the football will be at the 25-yard line as this offense gets set to take over. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Whenever I see a drop like that, I have to kind of take a step back and check myself a little bit. So used to seeing those big guys make big-time spectacular plays that when they drop one, I have to remind myself, we ask a lot out of these guys. Block and catch the football, not easily done in today's NFL.
61 yards rushing. This point. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. No gain on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. Here we go on 4th down. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th. Now, this offense really looking polished these first couple of weeks. Here's 1st and 10. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave them with still about 8 or 9 to go on 3rd down. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. To throw on 3rd down. Rasmussen under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. That was Will Anderson getting home and finishing the play. Here's Ryan Stonehouse now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Pulled in at the 24. 43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return. And the Texans will take. Throwing now is Stroud. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They've got to go thank the guys on D.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of the story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what'd you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. And that take Dell with now 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns. And the Texans have a chance to tie things up as they trail by 2 here in the fourth. And he's going to get into the end zone. The 2-point conversion successful, and we've got ourselves a tie football game. Huge conversion there to tie this thing up, but they're not done yet. Their defense needs to get a stop.
Yeah, there's still plenty of time for the other team to come downfield and put some points on the board, but job one was taken care of, the 2-point conversion to get this thing tied.
And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. Here's 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Rasmussen. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Throwing on 1st down. Rasmussen. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. Here's 2nd down. Looking to throw. Rasmussen. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Well, this feels like a late season game, even though it's just week 2. Here's a big 3rd down. Off play action. Rasmussen. And that will be incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And Charles, his name etched in the NFL record books. Just the 2nd field goal ever made from 66 yards as he ties Justin Tucker's NFL record.
And everything had to go right for that field goal to be converted. The snap, the hold, the protection, all had to be perfect. No wind working against you, and he nails that one. Congratulations on an incredible kick.
So Stroud and the Texans down 27-24, 33 seconds to go. They need at minimum 3 points out of this as they come up 1st and 10. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. Stroud to throw it as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. That is caught by Dell. And he will go out right near the 35-yard line.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. On 2nd down, Minor. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. And whistles, and they take their final timeout with 7 seconds left. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left.
This is your game, baby. Let's focus in on what we gotta do here.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to potentially send us to overtime. And his kick here is good. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds. And now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
Throwing to start the drive, Rasmussen. And his throw's going to be incomplete. So 4 quarters wasn't enough, and we are
These
off
two
to
coaching
overtime.
staffs likely going through their final adjustments for the second half. One of these teams is going to emerge 2-0. But who will it be? To find out, let's go back to Brandon and Charles.
It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
Well, 4 quarters couldn't decide things, so it's on to overtime here as the kick is away. And no return here to begin the overtime session. That'll be a touchback. Out comes Anchorage to take over offensively. Charles, you think back to halftime, they had the big lead. They were in control. They lost that lead, but ultimately right now, with the ball in overtime, a chance to win this thing.
And you know each guy's telling his teammate, just let it go. Don't worry about it. We're starting fresh right here. What happened before does not matter. What happens right now and going forward, that's what matters. Let's find a way to win this game.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. I don't want to overhype it, but this is a big early season game, especially an overtime win. That can give you a big boost going forward in the season.
It certainly can, and I don't think you're overhyping it because cliches go out the window when you start to play overtime. And you're right, the winner of this game now, that's an extra boost moving forward, and it actually is an extra hurt for the team.
And he is in for the score. And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime. Well, you never know what you're going to expect when you come to the stadium to call a game. Sometimes you get good ones. Sometimes you get bad ones. Sometimes you get great ones. And that's what we had here. What an exciting finish on that last big play.
And I think that as we look at it, when you're talking about a great finish, which went along with a game that obviously was dramatic because we did get into overtime, what type of play calls do you have left? What have you not shown? Or what have you made an adjustment to what you've worked out all the way through that's going to give you the play we saw to win the game? Because I know everyone's thinking that that was something that they just drew up. It might have been something they'd been working on, and now they got the right matchup.
So for Anchorage, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Texans, they'll fall to 1-1, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.
Say you gon' ride, say you gon' step by me, spin and slide, say you gon' step by me, who gon' step by me, who gon' step by me.
Yeah, told him I would be a boss before I had business. I don't even need nobody here to vouch. I was all alone, so I ain't have a witness. Right back to the lab. Gotta go to work, I'm revving up my engine. I was just putting groceries in the bag. Now wait a minute, yeah, forgot to mention. I'm $100 million richer. Might paint $100 million picture. One man army, but I don't fatigue. Better have $100 million coming with you. Got good karma, so I'm riding fiscal. Hit the crossover, leave them playing Twister. Or they thought that I was just a. Now when I do that.